in this updated version, we're going to cover off on all the latest tips, the coolest smartphone gear that we recommend right now, and all the key settings and steps that you need right now to get the most out of your Android device. Now, just to be clear, you don't need any additional gear to get great results with the process that I'm going to show you. But I will mention some of the low-cost tools that I'm using along the way, just in case you're looking to take things further. So step number one is to prepare your content for filming. And I know it sounds obvious when you hear it, but it is so much easier to create an amazing looking video, much faster and easier if you have prepared your content ahead of time instead of trying to figure it all out once you're sitting in front of your camera. So what I'm talking about here is doing a little bit of planning up front and working out what it is that you want to cover off in your videos. Now, for some people, that could mean writing a full-on word-for-word script. For others, it will mean just listing out a few dot points or guidelines for what you're going to cover in your video. But doing this up front is going to make your filming much faster and much easier, and it's going to allow you to create a much better video at the end of the day. Step number two is select a suitable location for filming. So here, you want to try and find a place where there is minimal background noise or distractions for your viewers. So if your filming spot has a ton of noise from kids playing outside, or someone with a leaf blower or a lawnmower going, or planes flying overhead, then it can be really distracting for you creating the content. They can also be really distracting for your viewers watching your content afterwards. So you want to try and find a place where there is as minimal background noise as possible. You'll also want to make sure that the background you have selected does match the theme, the style, the overall feeling, vibe of the video that you're going to create. So it doesn't make sense to go and film a cooking video in a gym. The background, the location just doesn't match. So you want to make sure that the content you're creating is a match with the location that you're going to be filming in. And I'll also say the most ideal location will be somewhere where you can just set everything up and not have to pack it all up afterwards. So if you are filming in the living room of your house and you have to set up and pack up everything every time your family comes home or friends come over, then that can be a big distraction, a big procrastination point. So ideally, your ideal location will be somewhere that you can set everything up, walk in, turn everything on, and you're good to go. The next step is to decide whether you're going to use the front-facing camera, the selfie camera, or the primary camera, the main one on the back of your device. Now, there's pros and cons of each. If you want the highest quality video footage out of your Android device, then that's going to be using the camera on the back. But that's also going to be much harder for you to shoot, especially if you're going to be filming by yourself, because you won't be able to quickly glance across at the screen because it's facing back the other way. Now, I'll put a link up in the cards to a video we did showing you a few different methods where you can shoot your videos solo using that back primary camera and still being able to monitor everything. So I'll put a link up in the cards and below in the description for that one. The other option that you've got is to use the front facing, the selfie camera on your device. Now, this is typically a lower quality camera, but in most cases, a lot of the front facing cameras on the devices these days are definitely more than high enough quality for you to create amazing videos. So the one I'm using right now is the front-facing camera on a Google Pixel 5, and it looks pretty good. I like the convenience of being able to quickly glance back at the screen to make sure that, yes, I am recording. Now, if you are going to be using the front-facing camera, you want to make sure that you're making eye contact with the camera lens, not the screen itself. This is one of the biggest things we see all the time. There's a disconnect. You're looking at yourself, but you need to be looking at the camera lens so you're making eye contact with your viewers watching. So make sure you're looking at the camera lens and not at yourself. The next step is to clean your camera lens. I know it sounds very obvious when you hear it, but most people don't do it. Now, these are our phones. They're up against our faces. They could be our fingerprints, dirt, grime, makeup even on your camera lens, and this will lower the quality of your videos. It will create a smudgy, smeary looking image. It looks pretty bad. So all you need to do is to clean that camera lens before you create any videos or even any photos for that matter. Build that habit of just wiping it on your shirt if that's all you've got. Ideally, you're going to be using some sort of microfiber cloth or lens cleaning cloth. Glasses cleaning cloth will also work, but you want to make sure that your camera lens is clean before you take any photos or videos. The next step is to stabilize and position your camera for filming. So unless you're after that Blair Witch style shaky video footage look, you're going to want to try and get your phone out of your hands wherever possible. Holding your phone outright is the shakiest position, the worst position for you to be creating your videos in. Even using a selfie stick is going to be better than hand holding your phone. It will help take some of that shake out if you're going to be walking around. But also, if you're going to be walking around, that's where you could look at some sort of gimbal stabilizer, like an Osmo Mobile, to really help you take that shake out. But if you're not going to be moving around and you're going to have a static shot, a locked off shot like this, then all you need to do is position your smartphone with whatever you've got so that it is just below eye level. I do mean ever so slightly, just below eye level, whether you're going to be sitting or standing. Now, ideally here, if you have a tripod, that's going to make it much easier for you. A great little portable tripod that I like and that I'm using right now on this setup is the Archon tripod. It even comes with a little smartphone holder so that you can hold your phone in both portrait and in landscape mode. And these are currently selling for around the $20 price point, so ridiculously cheap. And you can also see in this shot that I'm literally just using a box to get that tripod and specifically the camera up to the right height. So it is just below eye level. So for you, if you've got a tripod, you want to set that up now to the right height. If you don't, use whatever you've got to get that phone out of your hands, to get it stable and to get it to that right height. It could be that you're just placing your phone up on a shelf or on a bookcase or a TV cabinet, whatever you've got to get it out of your hands and to get it at the right height. The next step then is to set up your lighting. Now, the most important piece when you are lighting your shot is to light the subject of your video, whoever is in it, or whatever you want your viewers to focus on. That is the most important piece. So you want to light that first. And then if you've got any additional lights, then use those to light the scene or the background to make that look good too. But the priority is always whatever the focus of the video is going to be. Now, if you don't have access to any lights, then you can just sit in front of a window and get that nice natural light coming in through the window. But really, any light that you've got access to can help improve your shot. It could be a desktop lamp, it could be a bedside table lamp, whatever it is that you've got access to, pull it in to again help light up the subject of your video. Next up, we're going to prepare our phone for filming. So we're going to make sure that we have enough storage space available on our device to hold the recording of our new videos that we're making. So if your phone is full of photos and videos and stuff, I would say back those up, remove them from your phone so that you have room for the new videos you're going to make. You'll also want to check to make sure that you have enough battery life. You don't want your phone going flat in the middle of filming. You'll also want to make sure that your camera recording quality settings are correct as well, and ideally set as high as they can be for your particular device. So you want to open up the camera app on your device, then go to the camera settings, and in there you'll be able to see your video recording resolution. So if you've got the ability to do 4K, I would recommend it. If you've got the ability to do 1080, then 1080 is going to be fine. And if you've got an older device and the highest quality setting that you've got access to is 720p, I wouldn't say that that's a deal breaker. It's not ideal, but 720p will still be enough to get you good results. Now, there's one more setting that I want to mention, which is mainly found on the newer devices, and that is that they have a setting for HEVC recording, for high efficiency video codec recording. Now, if you have this on, it is going to let you create smaller video files, but there is still a lot of video editing apps and programs that won't be able to read those files. So if you want to create a video file that will work in pretty much any app or any video editing application, then I would recommend that you are disabling or turning off HEVC recording. For me, I normally turn it off just so I've got the ability to use any app or any program without any issue. Next up, I would strongly recommend that you are enabling flight mode or do not disturb mode or blocking mode on your device so that you're not being interrupted while you're recording your videos. So it could be that you have a phone call coming through, a video call, lots of emails. I mean, these are our main communication devices. So using it as a video camera, it's likely that you're going to have distractions and things come through. So turning on flight mode or turning on do not disturb mode can save your sanity and your video files as well. Next up, you want to lock down your camera settings so that nothing is going to change while you're actually recording your videos. So by default, our phones are set to auto, which means that they're going to automatically make adjustments as things change in your shot. So it could be that someone walks through your shot. Your phone might brighten the shot up just to expose for that person walking through, or something happening in the background might change the overall brightness, might change the overall focus of your shot as well. So we want to lock these down so that you are in control. You're setting things the way that you want instead of your phone having that automatic adjustment capability. Now, for most devices out there, it really can be as simple as tapping and holding on your screen, and there'll be a yellow box that appears. And that yellow box will then pop up and say that auto exposure and auto focus is locked at that point. So if you want to make minor adjustments to brighten or darken your shot, then you can do that there on the screen. And when you let go, when you remove your hand, then it's going to lock it and hold it at that point. So it's not going to change. So your focus will be locked and your brightness or your exposure will be locked at that point. To record a test video. So now that you've got everything set up, you want to get into position. You want to do a test run as if it's the real thing. You want to press record. You want to create a short little video, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Test your audio. Make sure that your shot looks the way that you want it to look, that the lighting is how you want it, that your focus is set correctly, and obviously that there is sound and good quality sound coming through your microphone as well. As simple as this step sounds, a lot of people miss this and they'll end up recording a whole video without their microphone plugged in, or it could be out of shot, or the brightness could be totally wrong, and then they've just wasted an absolute ton of time. So save yourself some time and some sanity and do a quick test video before you create your real actual content. Now it is important here that obviously you're playing this back to check that everything is the way that you want it. What this will mean is, depending on your device and the microphone that you're using, you might need to unplug the microphone to be able to hear and make sure that everything is how you want it. So the most important thing then is, after you've done that test, that you plug everything back in. Otherwise that test was pointless and you could end up creating a video without your microphone plugged in. And I'm sharing that because it's happened to me more than once. So that brings us to the last step, which is to hit that big record button and record your video. Now, while you are recording, again, remember to keep your eye contact on the camera lens. Don't look at yourself on camera if you're using that front selfie camera. Eyes on your viewers, the camera lens. And also make sure that you're monitoring what's going on around you, just in case there is something distracting happening in the background, or even monitoring the noise in the area that you're filming as well. So if a plane is coming over or a big truck pulls up outside, you could just pause and wait for that to move on, or potentially relocate if you have to, just so you can keep creating an amazing video.